welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about Ford V Ferrari, or Le Mans 66, depending on where you are, depends what it's called, because it's called different things. In America it's called one thing, in Europe it's called something else. Stars Christian Bale and Matt Damon, and it takes place in the 60s. It's all about the feud between Ferrari and Ford, where Ferrari was the genius boy who won Le Mans all the time and did the best cars and was out of business, but still had a lot of ego and a lot of pompousness. And Ford, which was this stuck in the mud American company that was not, it was making a lot of money but had no real respect in the industry. People just thought that the Ford was just a mass production line for, you know, people who needed a car but didn't know much about cars. And because Ford wanted to buy Ferrari, because just to try and change their image, to go from being the people who made cars for the grown-ups to people who might make cars that the younger generation might like, and that gets rebuffed in a way that's out of order. Ford decides, I'm going to build a car that actually can win Le Mans. So Ford gets some of his people to actually hire Matt Damon's character called Shelby, who was he used to be a racer. He won lots of big events, but because of a heart condition he had to stop racing. Just one of those things, he just wasn't allowed to race anymore, so he became a car designer. So when he gets the call to do it, he brings in Christian Bale, who plays Ken Miles, who's this British guy, who's this driver, who's a genius driver, but who has no way of turning his mouth off. He will argue with anybody. He's very passionate, but a bit stupid at times. He's very self-destructive. He believes in what he believes in. He's a very northern feel to him. He just believes what he's going to say and he'll say it. But sometimes he says it and it goes against his what he needs. You know, he doesn't stop to think before he says stuff. So basically both of them have the task of building the Ford car and driving it and actually getting through Le Mans. And throughout the film, basically it's about not only them building the car, because it's like they've only got months to build this car and they have to like take lots of shortcuts and take a lot of chances, but they've also got the Ford machinery of different people in the administration who are not behind the idea of doing this, who thinks it could be a bad idea for the company. And that's personified by Josh Lucas's character, who's this smarmy guy who tries to slow things down for the people building the car, because he just didn't think it's a good idea, and he thinks giving power away from the centre of the company to these eccentrics is a bad idea. He didn't let the power being taken away from him and his people. So he's kind of a predator for his own self-interest and for what he sees as the interest of the company. So they have to deal with him. They have to manipulate him. They have to manipulate everybody to get through it. And they have to like play dirty against their own team, basically, their own company, because the company's trying to screw them over as they are working for them. So that becomes part of the story, is Ken Mills learning to deal with that and be a bit more mature about it, and Shelby playing dirty and making sure he protects his team and gets what he needs to get. And it's a wonderful old-fashioned film. I mean, this is not a film that will change cinema in any way possible. This is a traditional film. It's two guys against the system, two guys beating the system, how the system fights back, and how they manage to get a win out of horrible circumstances. You've seen it a million times. You've seen it in Rocky, you've seen it in all these other films. It's a traditional story. This one's done really well because they deal with characters more than anything else. It's all the characters, like what's driving the Ken Mills character, people like Christian Bale. That's the main part. I mean, Matt Damon plays an important part in the film, but he seems to even understand that this is a Christian Bale film, basically. He's like the supporting part. So he knows to back off and let Bale be the engine for the film. And Bale really delivers. He plays this eccentric guy, but he doesn't overdo the eccentricity. He plays the driven nature, but he's got a sense of humour about himself as well. And it allows Bale to have a sense of humour, because in some of his films Bale gets characters who are a bit more driven, and sometimes they're not quite as humorous as they could be, to the detriment of the character's dimensionality. In this one, no, the character's smart, he's funny, but he's very driven. So yeah, I mean, it's basically Bale's film. I mean, Matt Damon is a chief supporting part in the film, and the main arc is Christian Bale's arc. But also the actual car scenes are great. I mean, if you like car chases or films about cars in a race, this is for you. The car scenes are terrific. They're enjoyable. It shows you how horrible going through Le Mans for 24 hours is. I mean, Rush a few years ago, Rod Howard made, and got a lot of reaction to how great the car scenes were. I thought they were good, but they weren't great. This one's a lot better. This one's much more brutal about how horrible the conditions are and how difficult it is to do all this driving. It feels a lot more ground in, a lot less CGI and faked. I'm not even sure how faked Rush was, but it didn't feel as authentic as this film. This film feels much more authentic because all the actors tend to have grease all over them all the time. Even when there are scenes where they've probably washed up, it's almost like the grease has been ground into the skin. That film, I mean, Christian Bale always looks dirty even when he's trying to dress up. It knows all the little details, so that makes the fans say, well, even it's based in reality, but obviously they've adjusted things to make it a movie. But it really works. It's just an enjoyable throwback film. If you like throwback films on a Sunday afternoon, this is perfect for you. It's exactly what you want. There's some good actors, has some good character parts. Everyone has a little moment. There's some good action. And it's a simple story. It's a story you've seen before, but it really works. So, yeah, if you're stuck in the house, this is a good one to watch. This is a good, enjoyable film to watch. It's an old-fashioned movie. So, I would say go see this one. It's really enjoyable. It's on video on demand now. It's easily available, so go see it. Right, bye.